The disappearance of a drone, the death of its pilot, John Cross, the vanishing of his family, and then a data leak on the darknet. It seemed the circle of suspicion was closing in on the development company. But a month after the incident, a woman resembling the deceased pilot's wife appears on the southern U.S. border. She crosses with forged documents, accompanied by an unknown armed man. This footage marks the beginning of a new phase in the investigation, leading to a private intelligence agency, offshore entities, and the leak of classified data online. A few weeks after the fire in Henderson, journalists from an independent tech platform release a statement. Cross's wife has been spotted in a Texas border region. Video footage captured by a bystander shows a woman who looks like Maria Cross crossing the border near the city of Laredo. She is accompanied by a man in a private security uniform with no identifying marks. The documents she uses are registered to a Linda Gardner. Analysis reveals this identity is linked to a subsidiary of the contractor that was testing the drone. Journalists' attempts to get official confirmation are unsuccessful. All public records of Maria Cross vanish on the very same day. A new theory emerges. The Cross family didn't disappear but was placed under controlled protection. Who was behind this operation remains unknown.
No records, no sightings, and then, suddenly, under private protection. This screams witness protection. That kind of move only happens when there's a real threat at the national level.
The investigation soon leads to a private intelligence agency in Houston specializing in cyber-espionage. Archived records show that Maria Cross was once an employee there. According to sources, the agency took contracts from an offshore entity connected to the drone project. Essentially, the same contractor could have been working for multiple clients through different legal entities. Experts theorize that the Cross family might have been part of a covert operation aimed not only at controlling the tests, but also at disrupting the work of competing developers. Information surfaces that Maria Cross was involved in projects analyzing data leaks. This changes the perception of her role. She isn't just the pilot's wife, but a professional analyst with access to sensitive information. In the midst of the investigation, a file named DRN-23 override appears on the darknet. The archive contains technical documentation and flight logs for the drone. A few hours later, an anonymous user offers a decryption key. Experts confirm the data is authentic. It includes information about a remote control module, a hidden contract, and the specifications of a second drone. The leak coincides with the discovery of Maria Cross at the border. Journalists suggest the data was prepared in advance and given to a third party before the tragedy at the Cross family home. Another question arises. Who was behind this data release, and was it the pilot's revenge or a premeditated operation?
The file's metadata matched internal company protocols. This wasn't stolen from outside. This was an insider job. Leaks like this happen when someone inside loses control or decides to go rogue.
At this point, it's clear that the Cross family is alive and operating under a new identity. The data leak was professionally organized and coordinated. Several private and offshore entities are involved in this story. However, the main question remains unanswered. Who was really in control of the entire process? The company, federal agencies, or competing contractors? In the next and final part, we will try to find the answer. We'll find out who ordered the operation and what the real goals were behind the drone's disappearance, the pilot's death, and the release of classified data.